Champ. "How you hanging in there, Champ?" his father asked him while they waited for the waitress to bring them pizzas. "Champ?" Connor asked, raising a skeptical eyebrow. "Sorry," his father said, smiling bashfully. "America is almost a whole different language." "Your voice sounds funnier every time I talk to you." "Yeah, well," his father fidgeted with his wine glass. "It's good to see you." Connor took a drink of his Coke. His mum had been really poorly when they'd gotten to the hospital. They'd had to wait for his grandma to help her out of the toilet, and then she was so tired, all she was really able to say was, "Hi, sweetheart," to Connor, and "Hello, Liam," to his father before falling back to sleep. His grandma ushered them out moments later, a look on her face that even his dad wasn't going to argue with. "Your mother is, his father said now, squinting at nothing in particular. "She's a fighter, isn't she?" Connor shrugged. "So, how are you holding up, Con?" "That's like the 800th time you've asked me that since you got here," Connor said. "Sorry," his father said. "I'm fine," Connor said. "Mum's on this new medicine. It'll make her feel better. She looks bad, but she's looked bad before. Why is everyone acting like—" He stopped and took another drink of his Coke. "You're right, son," his father said. "You're absolutely right." He turned his wine glass slowly around once on the table. "Still," he said, "you're going to need to be brave for her, Con. You're going to need to be real brave for her." "You talk like American television." His father laughed quietly. "Your sister is doing well, almost walking." "Half-sister," Connor said. "I can't wait for you to meet her," his father said. "We'll have to arrange for a visit soon, maybe even this Christmas. Would you like that?" Connor met his father's eyes. "What about Mum?" "I've talked it over with your grandma. She seemed to think it wasn't a bad idea, as long as we got you back in time for the new school term." Connor ran a hand along the edge of the table. "So it'd just be a visit, then?" "What do you mean?" his father said, sounding surprised. "A visit as opposed to—" He trailed off, and Connor knew he'd worked out what he meant. "Connor." But Connor suddenly didn't want him to finish. "There's a tree that's been visiting me," he said, talking quickly, starting to peel the label off the Coke bottle. "It comes to the house at night, tells me stories." His father blinked, baffled. "What?" "I thought it was a dream at first," Connor said, scratching at the label with his thumbnail. "But then I kept finding leaves, and when I woke up, and little trees growing out of the floor. I've been hiding them all so no one will find out." "Connor." "It hasn't come to Grandma's house yet. I was thinking she might live too far away." "What are you—" "But why should it matter if it's all a dream, though? Why wouldn't a dream be able to walk across town? Not if it's as old as the earth and big as the world." "Connor, stop this." "I don't want to live with Grandma," Connor said, his voice suddenly strong and filled with a thickness that felt like it was choking him. He kept his eyes firmly on the Coke bottle label, his thumbnail scraping the wet paper away. "Why can't I come and live with you? Why can't I come to America?" His father licked his lips. "You mean when—" "Grandma's house is an old lady's house," Connor said. His father gave another small laugh. "I'll be sure to tell her you called her an old lady." "You can't touch anything or sit anywhere," Connor said. "You can't leave a mess even for 2 seconds, and she's only got internet out in her office, and I'm not allowed in there." "I'm sure we can talk to her about those things. I'm sure there's lots of room to make it easier, make you comfortable there." "I don't want to be comfortable there," Connor said, raising his voice. "I want my own room in my own house." "You wouldn't have that in America," his father said. "We barely have room for the three of us, Con. Your grandma has a lot more money and space than we do. Plus, you're in school here, your friends are here, your whole life is here. It would be unfair to take you out of all that." "Unfair to who?" Connor asked. His father sighed. "This is what I meant," he said. "This is what I meant when I said you were going to have to be brave." "That's what everyone says," Connor said, "as if it means anything." "I'm sorry," his father said. "I know it seems really unfair, and I wish it was different." "Do you?" "Of course I do." His father leaned over to the table. "But this way is best. You'll see." Connor swallowed, still not meeting his eye. Then he swallowed again. "Can we talk about it more when Mom gets better?" His father slowly sat back in his chair again. "Of course we can, buddy. That's exactly what we'll do." Connor looked at him again. Buddy. His father smiled. Sorry. He lifted his wine glass and took a drink long enough to drain the whole glass. He set it down with a small gasp, then he gave Connor a quizzical look. What was all that you were saying about a tree? But the waitress came and silence fell as she put their pizzas in front of them. Americano, Connor frowned, looking down at his. If it could talk, I wonder if it would sound like you.